So welcome everyone to our presentation on the School of Natural Sciences. I'll give you a brief introduction. My name is Ricky Hill and I am an e-recruiter at UC Merced. I will also be the moderator this evening. And what I'd like to also do is offer you a couple of tips on how you can participate with us tonight. What you would like to do is if you want to submit a question, you can do so by clicking the Q&A button at the bottom portion of your screen. Once you click that button, you'll be given the opportunity to type in your question and click submit. We will get those questions and do our best to answer those throughout the presentation. At the end, we will also have a live Q&A session, so please keep those questions coming in. If you'd like to raise your hand during the participation section, you can do so by clicking the raise hand button at the lower portion of the screen. To lower your hand, you'll just click that button a second time. If you would like to adjust the audio settings, you can do so in the lower left portion of your screen. You'll click that button and make the adjustments as needed. And lastly, you can click View Options at the top portion of your screen if you would like to make adjustments to your screen size. Once you click there, you can make adjustments so it's either full size or something smaller than that based on your preference. Just a quick reminder, we do record all of our sessions and this will be made available for you within a couple of days on the website admitted.ucmerced.edu/webinars, and we will do a recap of that at the end as well. At this time, I would like to go ahead and hand it off to my colleague, Maricela.
Hi everyone, my name is Maricela Melendres. I'm an academic advisor in the School of Natural Sciences and a student transition coordinator. And I'll go ahead and have Trixie introduce herself.
Hi everyone, my name is Trixie and I'm one of the peer mentors here at UC Merced School of Natural Sciences, and I'm a third year.
Hi everyone, my name is Jessica Taran Salazar. I'm the Student Services Advisor for CalTeach. I'm going to be talking a little bit about CalTeach in a little bit, but right now I think we're ready to start our presentation.
Awesome. So within the School of Natural Sciences, we offer 5 majors. We have Applied Mathematics, Biological Sciences, Chemistry, Environmental System Sciences, formerly known as Earth System Sciences, and we have Physics. All of our majors, with the exception of environmental systems, has emphasis tracks, and so it gives the opportunity for students to customize what courses they want to take. That will also lead them to help them in terms of the career that they're looking forward to after UC Merced. So if a student has yet to declare an emphasis, they have until their second year to declare their emphasis, and so they'll get plenty of reminders from our school if they have not yet declared an emphasis. So within the School of Natural Sciences currently, we do have about 1,868 students in our school. Of those 1,800, 1,355 of our students are currently bio majors, so it's definitely our most popular major. Our smallest major, but our mightiest major, is Environmental System Sciences. That has 48 students. So we're hoping as our school grows that also our environmental systems major will also grow as well. So the minors that we do offer in our school, we do offer Applied Mathematics, Chemistry, Physics, Natural Sciences Education, and Natural Sciences Education with Teaching Credential. So minor definitely shows an interest in a different subject other than the major, but you don't need to declare a minor. Only if you're interested. So in order to become eligible to declare a minor, you must be in good academic standing and 90 units or below. So not only do you have minors in the School of Natural Sciences, but our School of Engineering and our School of Social Sciences, Humanities, and Arts also offer minors for students to choose. But again, it's not required. So now I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Jessica so she can talk more about the CalTeach program.
Hi everyone, introduce myself again. I'm Jessica, Student Services Advisor for CalTeach. I'm also UC Merced alumni, class of 2018. Next slide, please. So a little bit about the CalTeach program. The CalTeach program is at every UC. We are a program here to support students, undergrads who want to go into K through 12 education. Under our program at UC Merced, we offer academic advising, scholarship opportunities, internship, and externships. Next slide, please. So as Maricela mentioned, under the School of Natural Sciences, there's 5 different minor options. 2 of them are under CalTeach, both of them focusing on education. So the first one is the NSED minor. It's open to all majors at UC Merced. With this minor, you are able to complete prerequisite courses that you need to get into a credential program. So traditionally, if you want to go into K through 12 education, you would complete your undergrad degree and then go into a credential program that takes 1 to 2 years. However, with our minor, we have partnerships with Fresno Pacific and UC Merced Extension Teacher Preparation Program, which allows you to get your credential within a year because they take our entire minor and count it as part of their coursework. So for students who are interested in going into education, this is a really good minor to add on. If you decide that you don't want to stay in the Central Valley after your undergrad degrees, then you can also apply some of our courses, some of our NSCG courses to any credential program in California. We also have another minor, which is the NSEC. This is the Natural Sciences Education minor with teaching credential. This is through a joint program with UC Berkeley that allows students to actually complete their undergrad work at the same time that they're doing their credential work. So by the time you graduate, you will have your undergrad degree from UC Merced and your single subject credential from UC Berkeley. However, this minor is only open to STEM majors right now. It requires students to spend a semester at UC Berkeley, and it also requires a lot of planning, and it's a really rigorous program. So if you're interested in in this minor, definitely you will want to get started on it pretty early on in your undergrad. Can I have next slide, please? So we also offer CalTeach scholarships. We have scholarships that range from $1,000 to $5,000 depending on every year. We open them up in the fall. These scholarships are open to students who are in good academic standing, have an interest in education, and are in one of our 2 minors. Next slide, please. Aside from our minors and our scholarships, we also offer internship and externship opportunities for students. We usually open up our internships and externships to all students, so not just our CalTeach students. And this allows students to get some experience, some hands-on experience creating curriculum and getting to work with students. One of our internships is the STEAM Center internship, which allows students to get hands-on experience helping with day-to-day activities at the STEAM Center. The STEAM Center in Merced is located at Ada Givens Elementary. It's a brand new center that was started to get students excited about math and science. So different schools are bussed in there for 1 to 2 days, and they do different math and science activities. We hire interns to help with the day-to-day activities, and this is a paid internship. We also have the MCOE internship, which was started by Merced County Office of Education, which is an informal playgroup. So we hire interns to create and develop these really short math and science lessons to then present to younger kids. And then in the summer, we have Bobcat Summer STEM Academy. We usually hire undergrads to help deliver different programs throughout the semester, throughout the summer. And then we have our brand new learning lab, which is opened up this spring, where we invite students and classrooms to come into our lab and do hands-on math and science activities. So we hire learning lab assistants to help with that. Next slide, please. So if you're interested in connecting with us, my email is jtransalazar@ucmerced.edu. You can also visit our website, calteach.ucmerced.edu. I'm more than happy to set up a time to chat and go over the minor if you have any questions. You can also follow our Facebook and Instagram to get more updates. Next slide.
Awesome. So now we're going to talk a little bit about undergraduate research opportunities that our School of Natural Sciences has to offer. And so it's definitely available in all faculty labs of all disciplines in the School of Natural Sciences. Some can be paid, or some students can also earn academic credit. And so the way the earning of the academic credit works within the academic semesters is students will submit an independent study form during the start of each semester to their academic advisor. It will be approved by their faculty. They have to get permission from their faculty first and kind of designate, how many units they're going to earn per academic semester in order to work in that research lab. So for example, during the academic semesters, 1 unit will equate to 3 hours in the lab. So I have students who will just do 1 unit of research during the academic semester. I'll also have maybe a student do up to 5 units of research. So it all depends on the approval of the faculty. And also too, the priority is making sure that the students are also working towards their degree requirements and making sure they have their classes. And if they have time, they'll also allow for how many units they can keep in their schedule for the academic semester as well. And so as an advisor, I usually tell my students, you definitely want to do your research in terms of, what faculty you're interested in, what research are they currently conducting? And so I always have my students go to the Natural Sciences website first, which is naturalsciences.ucmerced.edu. And so I tell my students, make sure to look at the research interests that our faculty have before they send out that formal email to our students. I have my students make sure if they can read a scholarly article that our faculty has already written or published, even better, just to kind of talk up their research as well. So that way when they get ready to kind of send out that formal email to the researcher asking, do you have room in your lab? I want to make sure that the student knows like what research our faculty are conducting. So that's a good opportunity as well. So the research centers that we have at UC Merced, we have the Sierra Nevada Research Institute that's located up in the Yosemite area. We also have the Health Sciences Research Institute and the Center for Cellular and Biomolecular Machines. So not only do our School of Natural Sciences faculty use those research centers as well, we also have the School of Engineering faculty as well as the School of Social Sciences, Humanities, and Arts. And so our faculty are very interdisciplinary, meaning that not only will they work amongst other School of Natural Sciences faculty, but they'll also may work with School of Engineering faculty as well as the School of Social Sciences, Humanities, and Arts. So some of the research interests or research that has been conducted in the Sierra Nevada Research Institute, for example, focuses on like air pollution, water conservation, global warming, global climate. The Health Sciences Research Institute also focuses on health disparities in the San Joaquin Valley, as well as environmental and health. So those are some of the research areas that have been conducted that our faculty are currently focusing on. So now I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Trixie so she can talk more about her research experience.
Hello, everyone. So again, my name is Trixie, and I am a peer mentor for the School of Natural Sciences. However, I am also a third-year biology student. I'm also graduating this semester, attending pharmacy school next fall. So one thing I talked about in my interview, as well as placed in my application, is my research experience. So first of all, what did I do to get research experience? First, in my first semester, I actually searched what I was interested in, biology labs, chem labs, and then I emailed like professors or faculties that were in charge of those labs. However, I was able to get this opportunity, get this opportunity to have an interview. So my TA from Psych 1 actually emailed me for an interview for her lab, which is the Psychoneuroendocrinology lab. And the reason I got into that lab also is I did well in my class. I also made connections, and through that lab, I met other faculties that opened doors to other psychology labs. So after the psychoneuroendocrinology lab, I was able to go to the stress and health lab. So one thing I learned from my research experience is communication and presentation skills. I was able to collaborate with teams, and every week or every semester we have to present like an article, a research article to our team. So I was able to practice my presentation skills. Another thing I've learned is data collection. So there's this difference between bio and chem labs versus psych labs. So I learned that, with bio and chem, you have wet labs and like other types of like data collection. However, with psych labs, we actually interact with students. I was also fortunate enough to participate in this UC freshman study, which is like a UC section or UC wide kind of research, because it was also done in UC Berkeley, UCLA, UC SB. So it was nice to have that opportunity to collaborate with other UCs. Next slide, please. Another thing I have is like club experience. So first of all, why join a club? you learn about the field you're interested in. So I was part of the pre-pharmacy club. I really learned how to apply to pharmacy school, how much it really costs, how I guess how different it is from other graduate schools. So I was able to know about the field or pharmacy more than I ever did in high school. I was also able to make connections with alumni now because now that I'm in UC Merced, I have this communication with them that they're in other pharmacy schools as well. And then I also got to know the opportunities offered from the club. I was able to volunteer at Mercy Medical here at Merced, and of course have fun, because college experience, you also want to have fun and be able to connect with your peers. So another thing I also want to elaborate is that through this club, I was able to attend conferences, symposiums that, again, widen my perspective about pharmacy. So yes, back to Ms. Mari.
Alrighty, so kind of going back to the academics here. So our most popular majors and emphasis. So as you know, biology is our very popular major that we have in the School of Natural Sciences. So our most popular emphasis tied to bio is human biology. Human biology emphasis track is really popular amongst our pre-health students, those who are wanting to pursue, whether it's medical school, dentistry, pharmacy. It aligns very well with trying to knock out those admissions requirements for those professional schools, if not all, most of those requirements as well. We also have molecular and cell biology, microbiology, immunology, and then on the chemical side, we have biological chemistry and then chemical sciences with chemistry, or we call it chem for short. So those are definitely our most popular majors as well. I also wanted to briefly touch base on applied mathematics as well. That one we're definitely seeing a trend in growing popularity as well. So applied mathematics does have 7 emphasis tracks as well. So some of the emphasis tracks includes applied math with a physics emphasis track, computational bio. We have economics, computer science and engineering mechanics for the applied math side as well. So again, it definitely touches the base of how interdisciplinary our campus is, along with our majors that we have to offer too. So some of the career options or opportunities that our students have gone on to after they've graduated from UC Merced, we do have in the healthcare sector, we have students who have gone on to medical school, pharmacy, dentistry, and nursing. We've also had students go into industry, whether it's science policy, clinical lab scientist, environmental health, lab scientist and technician, and a lawyer. So for example, we definitely have a successful alum who has gone on and become a bio patent lawyer. And so he graduated from UC Merced. He's very passionate about what he does. And what's nice about UC Merced too is we definitely have a culture where we definitely love inviting our alumni back to be able to speak to our current students at UC Merced. And so it's definitely a collaborative effort, not only with the Alumni Association, with the Career Center on campus, but also with the different major schools. We definitely throw workshops, student panels where we will invite alumni to come back and talk to our students. So for example, the School of Natural Sciences, we offer experience by degrees. And so it'll be like a specific major that we might invite alumni back, or we tie in specific majors like a bio and chemistry where we will have alumni coming and speaking to our students. We'll also focus on the pre-health side versus outside of the pre-health sector to let our students know that there's definitely so many career options out there for our students to pursue as well. And then we have students go on into education as well in the K through 12 teaching sector. And then we'll have a lot of our students also wanting to pursue graduate programs, whether it's a post-bac program, a master's program, or a PhD program as well. So those are a lot of the career options that our students have, but not limited. So there's plenty more to choose from as well. So some of the student support services that we offer in the School of Natural Sciences is we offer academic advising. And so with academic advising for all of the major schools, we see second years and continuing. So when a student is an incoming first year, they'll first be seen by the PopCat Advising Center. After a student has successfully completed their first year with the Bobcat Advising Center, then they're transitioned into the major school, and that's where we play in. So for example, myself and Jessica will see our second years and continuing as well. And so some of the things that we offer in terms of academic advising is we do academic planning, we clarify degree requirements, and so one of the events or programming that we do for our second years is Jumpstart Your Third Year. And so what Jumpstart Your Third Year is helping our second years navigate their degree requirement, which is our audit tool, My Degree Path. We help our students navigate and how to create a 4-year graduation plan. And then they meet with their academic advising mentor or an academic advisor, and we go over their degree requirements, making sure that courses and sequencing is correct, so that way they can graduate as well. We also talk about career and professional development, so their goals, career aspirations in terms of, you know, after UC Merced, what is the student thinking? So we definitely like having those conversations early on with our students. We also offer pre-health advising. Pre-health advising is open to all students regardless of major, so they don't have to major in the School of Natural Sciences to get pre-health advising. How pre-health advising works is they'll first attend an introductory workshop, so whether it's a pre-medicine workshop, a pre-dentistry, a pre-pharmacy, for example, a student will attend that workshop. After they've attended that workshop, then they're able to set up appointments with the pre-health advisor. So that's open to all students and it's free. What pre-health advising covers is it's definitely a good resource for students who are interested in those professional schools. It helps guide students to the application process, how to be a competitive applicant, how to gain that clinical exposure as well, whether it's a volunteer opportunity, an internship, so that way they're ready and able to apply for those applications for professional school. And I'll have Trixie talk a little bit more about pre-health advising as well.
Yes, so just like what Ms. Maricela just mentioned is that with pre-health advising, you just have to attend at least one intro workshop, which is like pre-dentistry, pre-pharmacy, just to get yourself like more aware about these fields. And then after that, you're able to meet with a pre-health advisor. We do have 2 pre-health advisors. And with my own experience with the pre-health advisor, they were able to help me with like my personal statement, trying to navigate my own personal like path towards pharmacy. So it really helps you, or they really help you try to navigate your own path, because every student is different. So I think they're a good resource to have, especially when you're interested in going to a graduate school.
Cool. Our other service that we provide is also the Excel program. So School of Natural Sciences is unique in the sense that we have academic coaches. So academic coaches are definitely a student support team. They help our students who might find themselves in academic difficulty, or if they need additional student support assistance. And so academic coaches can help with academic recovery, time management skills, study skills. So we definitely have that available to all of our students. And then we also have the STEM Resource Center as well. The STEM Resource Center provides research program opportunities as well as free peer tutoring. And again, it's available to all students, regardless if they're in the School of Natural Sciences or not. They offer tutoring for all of our STEM subjects. So whether it's bio, chem, math, physics courses, and that's available. And so with our tutoring, it's a peer-to-peer interaction. And so in order for that tutor to be qualified to be able to tutor at the STEM Resource Center, the student has had to excel in that specific subject code that the student is going to be providing those tutoring services for our students as well. And I just wanted to clarify, with pre-health advising, first year can see pre-health advisors as well after they've completed the pre-health advising requirement of attending that introductory workshop. And if they're interested in CalTeach early on, they can also speak with Jessica or the CalTeach team as a first year as well. So I just wanted to clarify that. So with the School of Natural Sciences, we have living and learning communities as well. So we're the first school in terms of major school that offers living and learning communities that is specific in partnership with the School of Natural Sciences. So the 4 LLCs for short that we offer is Aristotle House, Beyond the MD, Carson House, and the Bond House. So with the Aristotle House, they focus on service, education, and learning. The Beyond the MD focuses on helping students see other career opportunities besides just the pre-health professions like medical school. And then we have the Carson House that focuses on sustainability, Earth Conscientious. So they have projects that work on that specific subject of like sustainability, helping UC Merced be green. And then we have the Bond House, and the Bond House introduces students to coding, whether it's in MATLAB, Python, just to name those programming features as well. And so students will closely work with House Fellows who are current UC Merced PhD students. The PhD students, the House Fellows as they're called, will lead study sessions, house events. They teach a 1-unit seminar, and the students required to attend those 1-unit seminars, and they get credit as long as they successfully complete that as well. So with the learning and living communities, how a student expresses interest to be a part of any of those LLCs is through the housing application. So there's a part that asks for housing options to be a part of a living and learning community. A student can select as many living and learning communities that they might be interested in, and then the student will declare that interest, and then the student will be notified whether they are able to join that specific living and learning community. So it's all through the housing application process when the student gets ready to submit those housing applications as well. So what makes us unique at UC Merced and in the School of Natural Sciences as well as our culture of research. So our graduate student population is really small, which gives us an opportunity to offer those undergraduate students a good place to be able to participate in research. And so a lot of our students will do research, and so it gives that opportunity. And so we have about 60 to 65% of our undergraduate students will participate in some sort of research as well. Our access to our faculty is another thing that makes us unique at UC Merced. So even though we are growing, we still have pretty small class sizes. So we might have that lecture that might be big, but then we have our discussion components and our lab components that are still pretty small. The lab components are the most can be 1 to 24. So, and then also our discussion components can be about 1 to 20, 1 to 24. So they're still pretty small. So that way it gives the opportunity for a student to still establish that connection with their teaching assistants, their TAs, as well as their faculty and their student colleagues that they have, and be able to interact in group study sessions as well. With ability to customize their degree, it also touches base on the emphasis tracks that we provide within the School of Natural Sciences. It aligns with the strength of the student, their value, their education, starting to think about, okay, what courses am I interested? You know, what faculty do I really enjoy having, and what classes does that faculty teach that I really like? And so it starts having students think about, you know, okay, after UC Merced, I graduate, you know, what's next? And so those courses definitely provide that opportunity for a student to grow and think about, you know, what it is that I want to do after UC Merced. So what we recommend in the School of Natural Sciences in terms of our student support team, the first one goes mostly for our incoming first years, is definitely, you know, take advantage of taking those math and science courses. If you're able and granted the opportunity to take that college level pre-calculus course or that college level preparatory chemistry, we definitely encourage that. The reason we encourage that is our courses are very sequential, meaning a student has to successfully pass a course before moving on to the next sequence course. So for example, a student might be taking pre-calculus, which is our Math 5 course here. You would want to successfully pass that, and then you're able to move forward into Calculus 1, and then in Calculus 2, and so forth. So it's really crucial that our students get that head start in their STEM courses. And so if you're able to knock out that college level pre-calculus course or the college level preparatory chemistry, even better. And that way, once you enter UC Merced, you have your courses, then you're starting to take those college level courses at UC Merced. The second one that we kind of want to reiterate as well is you don't have to major in the sciences in order to pursue a pre-health profession. And so we definitely want students to be passionate about their major. We want them to excel academically. And so we just wanted to remind students, you don't have to major in the School of Natural Sciences to pursue pre-health profession. It is popular, of course, to major in STEM, but it's not needed. And it touches back on our pre-health advising. Again, you don't have to be in the School of Natural Sciences to pursue a pre-health profession and speak with the pre-health advisor. So as long as you attended that introductory workshop, you're still able to connect with the pre-health advisors that are located in the School of Natural Sciences. And then we also encourage our students to start volunteer opportunities early on to gain that experience, gain that exposure, to find their passion and find out and figure out, what it is that I really enjoy. So that way they can continue that when they're here at UC Merced. So again, we definitely have lots of clubs and organizations that our students can participate in. And we also have great volunteer opportunities, whether through our school or, through partnerships with like the Center for Career and Professional Advancement and other units and departments on campus as well. Anything that you want to touch on really quick, Trixie, in regards to this slide?
I guess the third bullet point about we do encourage students to start volunteer opportunities early. It's good to, like what I said earlier, to join a club, because I joined pre-pharmacy club like my freshman year, my first semester. So then I knew how the club worked, and as well as like having experience, because for like having experience in Mercy Medical, we had to be, there were like certain requirements to complete throughout your college experience to be able to actually volunteer. So I think that's one thing I really do encourage as well, because it you like widen your perspective on like the volunteer opportunities, as well as the other thing with majoring in the sciences not required. I know that one of my friends, she's a psych major, but she got into a dentistry school. So I think it's really highly encouraged that you do major in something that you are passionate about and that that you will excel in. So.
Thank you. So some of the websites that are definitely recommended to visit after our session. So we have our big main website, which is naturalsciences.ucmerced.edu. It will house a lot of our faculty research, what our school is focusing on currently. So again, I always tell my current students, definitely visit that website so that way you can see what our faculty are currently doing in terms of the research areas. We also have our NS advising website, and so that houses our student support team for advisors there, and our information in terms of how to contact us, our office hours, and what services we provide. Again, with the School of Natural Sciences, along with School of Engineering and School of Social Sciences, Humanities, and Arts, we provide advising services to second years and continuing. So if you're an incoming student, you'll first be seen by the Centralized Advising Center, which is the Bobcat Advising Center. And then after you complete your first academic year, then you're transitioned into your respective major school. We also have our CalTeach website on there as well. We have the Excel website. So again, our School of Natural Sciences, we have our academic coaches, and so that's their website for students to be able to see and get information about. We also have our pre-health website, and we have our STEM Resource Center website as well. And then our contact information as well. So feel free, don't hesitate to reach out. We definitely welcome those questions as well. And so now I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Ricky.
Thank you so much, Maricela, and to the panel, including Jessica and Trixie. We've had a great presentation on the School of Natural Science and everything that they have to offer. So at this point, we would like to offer to you a live question and answer session. So we have been collecting some questions, and as they've been coming through, I've been taking a look at those here. So let me go ahead and just start off with one that came through. Someone would like to know a little bit more about the LLCs and if those are considered off campus or on campus. Can someone address that and describe those a little bit more?
So those are the living and learning communities for first years. It's on campus for now. Those are the ones that are offered on behalf of the partnership with the School of Natural Sciences and UC Merced. So it's on campus. I believe it's Granite Pass, Trixie, correct me, or Glacier.
Glacier Point.
With the living and learning communities as well, it engages students to kind of have that community. And so it's based off of floors. So again, all of our 4 living and learning communities will have a specific floor on Glacier. So whether it's the Carson House, the Aristotle House, the Vaughn House, will have their specific floor. And I believe, Trixie, if you want to talk a little bit more about that too.
Yes, so learning and living communities, it actually, when I was an RA, it started last year, so it wasn't really so, it was so new to me as well. However, one thing I noticed with learning and living communities is that they have, I believe, like at least a meeting every semester, um, and then it kind of felt like it was like a club in a way because they would, um, kind of navigate through different opportunities as well, specific for their house. So let's say like beyond the MD, they looked into like internship opportunities, as well as research opportunities. Um, yeah, that's all I have to say with LLCs.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So another question that has come through is it possible to do a research project as a first-year student?
So it may be possible. It's definitely dependent on the faculty or the principal investigator for research as well. So some faculty will require that a student might have completed, whether it's a first part of chemistry or general chemistry. So each faculty might have specific requirements in terms of what students need to come in with in order to get that research opportunity as well. But we have seen first years also engage in research. I think it just depends on what the faculty is looking for as well and what their expectations are.
Great. All right, another somewhat follow-up question. Can you earn academic credit for a paid research position?
So I know with the Undergraduate Research Opportunity Center, they have the paid research as well. So I know that the students will get stipend. I'm not sure if they're able to get both like academic credit as well as the stipend. I think it's one or the other, but we can definitely look into that for you. I know for me, most of my students will do the academic units, and so they'll do that via independent study.
Wonderful. So the next question, what is the major that is related to computer science the most?
So that's definitely a good question. We do have computer science and engineering that's housed in the School of Engineering as well, but we also have applied mathematics that has the computer and science engineering emphasis track. So I think it depends on where your interests lie, what opportunities you're looking for in order to gain as well.
Great. So another question, is applied mathematics with an economic emphasis similar to business economics?
That's a good question. Our applied math is definitely going to have lots of math, very calculus heavy based. So they are a bit different in terms of the courses that the students are going to be taking.
All right. Another question that's come through tonight is, in terms of emphasis within a major, are there any options for animal sciences?
So we currently don't have one that's related to more animals. So I've had students who've expressed interest in going on to veterinary school. They'll usually choose human biology as just the most popular one because it might knock out most of the pre-health requirements as well. But currently at this time, we don't have one specifically animal science.
Okay, great. So this one is a little more specific, so I'm not sure if you'll have an answer for it, but we'll go ahead and give it a try. So if someone wants to become a general dentist, what classes would you recommend and what major for their first year?
Trixie, do you want to talk more about that?
So with dentistry, I guess with our pre-health students, we usually have like this tool, which is My Degree Path, which we use. So let's say if you're a biology major, you there's these list of requirements that you have to fulfill. However, with, let's say specifically for dentistry, you have specific requirements for different dentistry schools as well. So then you just line up those requirements to be able to complete both the requirements between like your major and dentistry requirements. However, for freshman year, it's usually general, like chemistry, general chemistry, your bio 1, and then you also have either your pre-calc or calc 1. But yeah, it just depends on how you also want to balance your schedule, because of course you don't want to overload your schedule too much with a lot of math, a lot of sciences. So yeah, Ms. Mara, do you have anything to add?
Yes, so on our pre-health website, prehealth.ucmerced.edu, we do have a professions tab. And so we do have a dentistry tab. If you click that, you'll be able to see the most common admissions criteria that's needed for dentistry as well. So definitely check out our pre-health website, prehealth.ucmerced.edu.
Great, that was wonderful information. Thank you. So another question, this one has a couple of parts to it, so I'll try and summarize. So is there a club on campus or somehow related to UC Merced that allows students to volunteer at Mercy Hospital? And then the follow-up is, when will a student be allowed to volunteer, and is that an opportunity for first-year students?
So did the student say like pre-med, specifically pre-med?
No, not at all. There wasn't anything specific. It was just the general question of when they can start volunteering and if Mercy Hospital is an option to them.
So usually with like pre-med and pre-pharmacy, which is common between me and my friends, we actually volunteer at Mercy Medical. However, I don't think that because of specific requirements through the club, I don't think that you can volunteer freshman or your first year. So you have to, there are certain requirements such as second year standing, at least have like 50 hours of volunteering experience, like those that you have to fulfill first before you actually can submit an application to Mercy Medical.
Okay, great. So this is a little bit along the same line, but specific to internships. So is there any medical internships that you can speak to that a student can do as an undergraduate?
For internships, I'm not aware of internships that involves like pre-med or pre-health. However, you can always look at the STEM Resource Center. They do have research opportunities as well as internships. You can go ahead and look at stemresourcecenter.ucmerced.edu, and then usually it has like that research tab, and then under that there's lists of like internships, links for you to navigate through.
The Center for Career and Education, or sorry, our Career Center as well. So we do have internship opportunities available to all students. Now, if it's specific to medical, we would probably have to check and see for you. I know for some of my students, they're definitely more outreaching to health providers, whether in their area back home or near Merced as well. So I've had students do like job shadowing and internships outside of UC Merced. In those health professions, whether shadowing a dentist, shadowing a primary care provider, or a nurse practitioner, for example. But we do have our Career Center that does offer a list of available internship opportunities, whether both on campus or off campus for students as well.
Okay, great. So the next question is coming in here, and I'll kind of summarize what's been listed. So why is it that a student doesn't necessarily need to select a health-related profession major in order to go into the pre-health option?
Yeah, so you don't need to major in a STEM major in order to pursue the pre-health professional schools, like going and being eligible to go to medical school or dentistry or pharmacy, for example. It's not needed. However, if a student wants to be eligible to apply to those professional schools, they have to knock out those requirements. And so, for example, listing on like the medical school requirements, students have to complete like their introductory bio class, and then their bio 2, which would be their second bio class. They have their general chemistry chemistry sequence as well. So a lot of students will often choose to major in the STEM just because not only are they needing those specific requirements for their major requirements to graduate, but they'll also need it for the professional school. So it's definitely trying to maximize those course requirements as well. But I know from our pre-health advising experience also too, like some of the selection committees for those medical schools and professional schools, they like to see a variety. They probably get lots of applicants that are majoring in bio, for example. And so they like seeing different students engaging in different majors and tying it back into meeting those admission requirements as well.
And does UC Merced offer kinesiology or sports medicine?
So UC Merced, we do not offer that. I think it's mostly found, and I think we can research this later too, but I want to say it might be found at the CSU level.
Okay, great. So the next one is, I am a student who wishes to go into respiratory care. What types of courses should they take?
So I think it really depends again, are you trying to align it more to a professional school, such as going on to medical school or a pre-health profession? Are you thinking more in terms of environmental and health, in terms of maybe looking at health disparities in a community and helping with the project on that, whether it's looking at like asthma, for example? And so I think it just depends in terms of, what is that ultimate career goal and how can you refine that as well? With all three schools, not only do we have our academic advisors, but the Career Center, we do have STEM career specialists as well that help our students kind of navigate that. Like, I am interested in, for example, in that respiratory care. Okay, let me show you what potentially you can do, knowing that you're interested in that specific subject, and how can we refine that? So we do have career specialists that help our students at UC Merced as well.
Great. And what would you recommend for a good major if someone would like to go into the profession to be a chiropractor or a physical therapist?
So on our pre-health website as well, we do have the chiropractor under the professions tab as well. And what was the other one, Ricky?
The other one was physical therapist and chiropractor, those two.
Yeah, so both of those professions we also list on the pre-health advising website, so prehealth.ucmerced.edu. They are also listed on the professions tab, and they'll list the common admissions requirements as well.
Great, and something a little bit similar to that one, but a bit of a different direction. Can you provide some information about the pre-health option for pre-veterinary?
So again, some of my students that have been interested in veterinary or going on to veterinary medicine have majored in biological sciences as well. And so sometimes they tend to choose the human biology emphasis track just because, again, it knocks out most of those admissions requirements that's needed for that professional school.
Okay, great. Some of our questions look like they're a bit repetitive, so give me just a moment to look for a new one here. And are you aware of any type of programs that support entrepreneurs at UC Merced?
Really good question too. I think UC Merced definitely has that pioneering leadership aspect in a lot of our students as well. And so there might be a lot of good opportunities out there. Again, we have a lot of clubs and organizations that's offered at UC Merced. We definitely have some good career internship opportunities as well through the Center for Career and Professional Advancement as well. So there might be some more opportunity there. I think that would be definitely a good question for maybe a career specialist as well through the Career Center.
Great, and just a quick reminder to all of our attendees, we are at about the 10-minute mark. So if you do have any questions that you haven't yet put into that Q&A section, please do so now so we can try our best to get to all of the questions. And the next one here is there any type of pre-med club or organization on campus?
There is a pre-med club. It's called Pre-Med Central. Where in regards to organization, I just forgot what you called it. Well, there's two. There's a pre-health one and a pre-med one. However, I'm not really sure about what you call them, but you can actually look at like Cat Life. Let me see. Cat Life, ucmerced.edu, and then you can look up like clubs and organizations that is available at UC Merced.
Great. And when is the earliest that a student would be able to start completing coursework if they decide to go into the NSEC minor?
So if a student is interested in adding in the NSEC minor, they can start as early as their freshman year. So even for students who are not sure whether they want to add in the NSED minor, the NSEC minor, or any of our CalTeach minors, then they can go ahead and get started on their coursework. The first one is going to be the elementary Introduction to Teaching Elementary, which is, there's no prereqs, anyone can register for it. There's 2 different units for it. One of them is going to be your seminar, which is once a week. And then the second part of that course is the fieldwork component, where I place you at a local school with another person and you complete a total of 30 hours. So that's going to be the first step in getting started on the NSEC minor or the NSED minor.
Wonderful. And do we have any information that could speak to what the acceptance rate is of all pre-med students that attend medical school right after the UC Merced program?
So of our students who are very competitive and eligible and meeting those admissions requirements for our professional schools, 70% of our alumni have gone on to health professions. So whether that's medical school, pharmacy, or dentistry. So again, they were competitive in their application. They had high marks in their course requirements for those professional schools, and they had a lot of that clinical experience and exposure that was needed. So again, 70%.
Wonderful. So this one is a little bit more related to the campus layout. So this person is asking, will classes for each major be in certain sections of campus, or will it be all around the campus? And also, are the dorms close to the School of Natural Sciences building?
So for my classes, beginning with freshman year, it's usually not too far from the dorms. However, let's say now that we have new buildings next to Glacier Point and Granite Pass, classes may be closer to you. However, it really just depends on, I guess, how they schedule classes. But I mean, the walk is worth it. So yeah.
Great. So what percentage of the students within the school major are actually in the applied math major? If you have a number about how many, and also the follow-up to that is how many students are within the School of Natural Sciences overall? Maricela, I think you might be muted there.
Oh, there you go. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So we have 136 math majors currently in the School of Natural Sciences. And right now we have 1,868 students in the School of Natural Sciences.
Great. Now jumping back over to the LLCs, how hard is it to get into the Beyond the MD LLC?
I think it just depends on how many students are interested. Again, when the student is submitting their housing application, they do have the option to select as many living and learning communities when they're going through the housing application as well. I think it just depends on where they're at in the selection process of how many students are interested in expressing interest. And so that's why on the housing application, it's definitely recommended to choose more than one living and learning community that a student might be interested in as well.
Great. Now, if a student wanted to be a chemistry major, would they be able to do a minor in something such as business, or does it have to be something that's actually within the School of Natural Sciences?
That's definitely a great question. So you don't have to pursue a minor in the School of Natural Sciences. You can definitely pursue one of the minors that's offered in the School of Social Sciences, Humanities, and Arts. So they do have that economics minor as well. And so they do have that business management as well. So again, if you're interested, we do have some students that will take a minor outside of the School of Natural Sciences, and that's totally okay. As long as you work with your primary academic advisor first, just to ensure that you're meeting your degree requirements for your major, and then that you have that ability to be able to add in those courses to the minor in your academic plan in order to ensure normal progress of degree.
Great. If one of you can speak to, if you know of the differences between a semester campus versus a quarter system campus in terms of graduating with a science major, if there's a major difference between the two.
I think that's a good question. I don't know if I can speak on that personally. I'm also a UC Merced alum too. I've just known semester systems as well. And then I did my master's at Cal State SAC, and so that was also a semester as well. But that's definitely a good question that we can get back to.
Okay, great. Again, just looking through some of these here to find something that we haven't addressed yet. If someone is trying to major in biomedical science, is it feasible to minor in engineering?
So with the School of Engineering, they do have a few minor options. I think it depends, like if you're thinking about maybe the bioengineering major too, they do have that in the School of Engineering. In terms of the emphasis tracks for biology, we don't have a biomedical emphasis track at this time. We just have the human emphasis track. We have the molecular and cell, microbiology and immunology, and developmental.
Great, thank you, Maricela. So this person actually sent in a couple of questions, so we'll go down the list here and make sure we haven't covered some of these. Let's see. So how would you describe to students the School of Natural Sciences? Just in general as a whole, what would be a couple of sentences to describe the school and as just in general?
Trixie, do you want to talk more as a current student in the School of Natural Sciences?
Sure. To describe School of Natural Sciences, it is very competitive. It is sometimes difficult. However, my difficult is different from yours as well. So, but we all really help each other out, especially with the resources that the School of Natural Sciences provide. We were able to reach this point, especially we're all graduating, right? So I think the School of Natural Sciences and the resources that they provide are really helpful to be able to be competitive and just be successful as a student.
Great. And then outside of the STEM major, are there resource centers available on campus?
So we definitely have not only the STEM Resource Center, again, it's open to all students who might need that additional assistance and support in, say, a STEM course, whether it's like math, physics, bio, chem, but we also have the PALS Tutoring Center as well that also offers tutoring services for like writing, other subject codes that might not be in the School of Natural Sciences, but say in the other two schools, such as School of Social Sciences, Humanities, Arts, like psych, if they needed additional support in that. And then we also have the Chem Center, the Math Center, and the Writing Center as well.
Great. And here's a unique question. This is the first time this one has come through, and I know you talked about it in the presentation, but if you can touch on this again, what is the difference between an internship and an externship?
So I'll go ahead and answer that one. So CalTeach has internships and externship for students, for any student at UC Merced, regardless if you join one of our minors or not. The biggest difference is the length. So for the internships, we have MCOE internship and STEAM Center internships. So for the STEAM Center, that one we hire students for a year long, so for both semesters. For our MCOE internship, we hire them for a semester, and then we hire new students for the following semester. For our externship, we have one called NatureBridge Externship, which is a program that we run with NatureBridge. So NatureBridge is up in Yosemite, and they have different locations. We've run it at Yosemite and Santa Monica. But what we do is we send our students there during their spring break. So it's externship because it's a shorter period, but they're out there getting hands-on experience, kind of building in that science and the math into the hands-on. How do you turn those math and science lessons into something that is hands-on while students are hiking, while they're doing outdoors activities? So that's the biggest difference, the hands-on and the length.
Wonderful. And we are at that 7 o'clock period here, so we will just take a couple more questions. So is there a job placement assistance for graduates someplace on campus within this program?
Is it specific to CalTeach or?
Actually, the question doesn't specify, so maybe just within the major in general, and then can touch a little bit on CalTeach.
Yeah, so the Career Center definitely works with our current students, but also works on our alumni students as well. So definitely the career specialists in the Career Center definitely help with our students who are thinking about, you know, what careers they're trying to pursue, what's out there, what's available. And so those career specialists definitely help out our students, both current and also our alumni too.
For CalTeach, we do offer support and help try to place our teachers here in the Central Valley. So in the Central Valley and all across California, there's a huge teacher shortage, specifically for math and science. But we continue to get information about different schools that are hiring and try to share that out with our students that are graduating, both for the last 2 years that I've worked at UC Merced. For all of our NSEC majors who have gone through the UC Berkeley pathway and have graduated with their credential, they had a job lined up for them by the time they graduated. And the last two that we had this last fall, they're both teaching in the Central Valley now.
Wow, that's an amazing success rate. That's wonderful. So like I said, we are at that 7 o'clock mark. So let's just take one more question. This is actually a two-part question. So how much time do students have to explore their interests within the School of Natural Science? And also, what can they do if they're not really sure what their specific interest is at this point?
So that's definitely a good question as well. So within the School of Natural Sciences, so if a student's maybe thinking about, maybe I'm not sure I want to be in the School of Natural Sciences, or maybe I'm still thinking about the emphasis tracks, you still have until the end. So they have until the end of their second year at UC Merced for those that came in as a first year to kind of change their majors. So whether they're changing maybe from bio to chem, or if they're wanting to pursue a different major outside of the School of Natural Sciences, like in the School of Social Sciences, Humanities and Arts, or Engineering, we definitely recommend that by the end of their second year, they have that major of what they're thinking about. Especially with our general education program, it's very interdisciplinary as well. So not only are our major requirements very interdisciplinary amongst themselves, meaning, for example, like a bio major is definitely going to have some chem courses, some math courses as well, but also general education requirements. And so that might give an opportunity for a student to kind of customize, okay, what am I interested? Let me go ahead and, for example, take that psych course and see if I'm interested in that. And so that can also help guide the student. So that general education program that we have students go through also helps with that.
Wonderful. Well, with that last question, I think we will go ahead and start our wrap up. And a big thank you to Maricela, Jessica, and Trixie. We'll just go around one last time if anyone wants to offer any other final words or just say a final farewell.
Yeah, I think definitely don't hesitate to reach out to us. We are more than welcome to, email us, and we love receiving those emails from those that we've spoken to. So definitely don't hesitate to reach out.
Same here. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to myself. I know that if I can't meet with you, there's 2 other staff members for the CalTeach program. I'm more than happy to talk about my experience as an advisor, but also as a UC Merced alumni, CalTeach alumni, and also UCDC alumni.
Yes, so just like Miss Mari and Jessica, just reach out to us if you have any other questions. I know I saw a question about UOP. If you have any questions about pharmacy, you can always email nspearmentor@ucmerced.edu. And then, of course, we're happy to answer your questions.
Wonderful. Thank you so much again. And to all of our attendees right now, and you have been for a short time now seeing the Contact Us screen. So all of their information from the panelists is available there for you. This would be a really good screen for you to take a screenshot of or use your smartphone and take a photo if you haven't already, just for future reference. We also have a great directory available online, and you can pretty much use Google for almost anything. You could put in UC Merced and pretty much anything will come up that you're looking for. So a couple of other resources for you. One last thing I'd like to mention is that we do have a very comprehensive website that does list all of our upcoming online events, such as this one. We do record all of our sessions, and we'll make those sessions available through this website as well. And that URL is admitted.ucmerced.edu/webinars. Again, admitted.ucmerced.edu/webinars. A couple of our future events do include, let's see, we have the Guardian Scholars Program. We will be talking more about that one tomorrow with some expert presentations for that subject tomorrow. We have an event coming up regarding student life, so you can explore a little bit more about the activities that are offered on campus. There's also on the 21st, we have an event coming up that is centered around the Center for Career and Professional Advancement, so that is the Career Center on campus. And there's also a couple of events coming up, one in English and one in Spanish, that are specifically designed for our parents and guardians, those folks that are supporting our incoming students. So we do have many more that are being offered, but that's just a couple for you to check out. Again, the website is admitted.ucmerced.edu/webinars. A big thank you to the School of Natural Science presenters. That would include Maricela, Jessica, and Trixie. And a big thank you to all of you for attending and sending in such great questions for the Q&A session. Much appreciated, and have a wonderful evening. On behalf of the University of California, Merced, and all of my colleagues, have a great night. Thank you so much.